think we can objectively say that Mia is one of the most exciting brand launches in terms of product and solution, but also in terms of brand as a whole, communication, visual, and so on, that we had in a while. And today we're going to talk about that a little bit, because as Vadim said, when we set out to build this, we didn't think about it as a GovTech solution. We thought about it as a brand for the people, and we wanted to build something that would resonate with them. So this is the story of how we did that. Okay, now quick question. What is a brand? And that's like an open question if anyone wants to shout out something. Okay, is it an image? Is it a message? Is it a color scheme? Where is it? Well, it's all of the above, but most importantly, a brand is not just a set of rules and criteria on how to use something visually and how to slap your logo onto something. It's a promise, and it's a promise of value, and it's a promise of what you're going to get in return if you choose to follow and use this brand. So all of this that you see here, this is the final result. This is just the tip of the iceberg. All of the what we call the brand touch points, right? We developed a very comprehensive set of tools and mechanisms and things to use in order to appeal to individuals, to businesses, to government, and so on, because we thought it is imperative to build something that would, again, appeal to everyone. Because we didn't just want it to seem like a stuffy thing coming from the government that you kind of want to use, but you don't want to use, right? Okay, and this is how we got here. So what we knew, looking at, as Vadim said, looking at how other instant payment systems were built around the world, we knew that what worked very well was having a distinct identity, even though the solution is deployed through the existing ecosystem, right? It's not a separate app. We knew we wanted a distinct identity. Why? Because this identity would drive the communication. It would drive the messaging. It would be the thing that everything would revolve around. Now, we knew that it needed to be easily integrated into the ecosystem, into the existing ecosystem. So while it was distinct, it wasn't supposed to compete, right? While it was distinct, it wasn't supposed to overpower or overtake. It was supposed to be something complementary. And we also knew that we wanted to build it for people like ourselves because we are the early adopters, and the hypothesis was that people such as ourselves, most probably everyone in this room who are active, actively banked, active users of e-com, of different platforms, who actively use their cards, who know how to do transfers, who know PayPal, who pay with PayPal even, for example, right? People who know fintech, not just common sense banking, they expect something different. So we wanted it to be unique, bold, and forward thinking. So that's where we kind of geeked out. And knowing what we wanted to build, we set out over 20 plus acceptance criteria for the brand, for how we wanted this brand to look, how we wanted this brand to sound, how we wanted this brand to communicate, how we wanted this brand to look visually and integrate visually, right? So what was acceptable, what was not acceptable, and general criteria overall, like should it be, it wasn't supposed to be registered locally, internationally. On the naming side, it was supposed to pass the conversational test, it was supposed to be short, snappy, easy to pronounce. It was a plus if it would translate well into Russian and English as well. On the visual side, again, as we mentioned, we wanted it to be integratable, but also have a life of its own. And it was supposed to be moldable, right? Because it's delivered through all of through the ecosystem. We wanted it to shapeshift, to take the face of virtually any other app that it's integrated in. So we kind of wanted the unicorn that was disruptive, but still felt like a pony, right? You could pet it. You wouldn't be scared of touching it. So knowing all of this, again, I'm an operations person. Anyone who knows me knows that, saw that. We, again, didn't go into the drawing room. Everything you see in terms of this is the result of a process. And that's very important to understand because a brand doesn't happen just when you say, oh, we have this product, let's build a logo. Knowing everything we knew, we went through the process of crafting the fundamentals, the strategy, then we went on to the naming, and then we built identity around all of that. So the strategy, the fundamentals was, we asked ourselves, why are we doing this? I mean, honestly, what is the ultimate goal? What is our vision? What is the purpose? What is Mia's promise to everyone? We knew that we wanted it to be safe, reliable, secure, instant, fast, easy to use. We're going to get to that. So that's what we based our vision and mission for. And this is the fundamental stuff. This is the baseline for everything. You get back to it every time you build your messaging, every time you build any piece of communication. We also knew we wanted a human brand, a brand built by humans for humans, right? So we then thought, okay, so what would this brand be like if it would be a person? Would it be stuffy? Would it be stuck up? Because that's kind of the expectation when you hear a product made by the National Bank of Moldova, because it's a regulatory body, you would expect that it's, all suited up, serious, stands there, and it kind of gives you a paper to sign or something, or some rules and procedures to follow, right? Or on the other side, on the other spectrum, you have someone who's fun, who's like a hipster or whatever. So how do we strike that perfect balance? So we knew we wanted to have someone you'd go out for coffee, you'd call for a piece of advice as a person, which is important, but you'd also go out for drinks with. We wanted someone you wouldn't get annoyed if they called you without messaging you first. Right? That's the person we wanted the brand to be. And then we went into the core values. What do we believe in? Again, as Vadim said, we wanted simplicity and ease of use, right? To be at the forefront of everything. And that translates into messaging as well. We wanted to convey security, reliability, and trust because we live in the transactional financial ecosystem, and that is important. You don't want to just send out your money wherever. And we wanted to be perceived as innovative, forward-thinking. So these are our, this is our value system. Okay, and then we get to the fun part. We went on with the mood. Again, when you think of a state gov solution, typically the mood seems to be, looking for a word in English, I'm gonna find it later. But we went looking, and we went looking at the best fintech brands around the globe that communicated in a way that we wanted to communicate as well. So we ended up looking at Venmo, at Klarna, at Square, and these are brands, these are fintech brands that have numbers of millions and billions of dollars in on their books. And their design was made by some of the powerhouses in brand. And we wanted to be just like them because why not? I mean, who says we can't? Okay, so knowing all this, we went on to the name. And boy, was that fun. When I joined the project, I think we had a list of over 200 naming options. Should it be Romanian? Should it be English? Should it have pay in it? Shouldn't it have pay in it? But pay is expected, but pay is normal, but people expect it to have pay. If it doesn't have pay, then you do not know that it's fintech. You do not know that it's about payment. So that was like a continuous, constant conversation over a couple of days and weeks and even months, I think, right? The pay thing was like a big thing around this. Should it be, should it have more English or should it have more Romanian? But if it has Romanian, is it exclusionary to the Russian people? Like all of these ideas, right? And again, we went back to the criteria for one side. And we just went again through the process. We did internal reviews, we did external reviews, we did market research, we did questionnaires, a bunch of people voted. So through exclusion, we got to the final 3 naming options, and we're expanding the circle of the people who are actually going to see the runner-ups for the naming. These were the final 3 naming options that were put on the table. These 3 final options basically fit all the criteria that we set out, plus they passed the conversational test fairly well. And we subjected these to the vote as well. So we asked people how do you rank all of these names across the value system, and then how easy would that be for you to use? We actually asked people to tell me, transferăm cu Mia, transferăm cu Buno, transferăm cu Payfix. Dă-mi un Payfix, dă-mi un Buno. Ai activat Mia. No? We went through all of this. So guess which one won? We actually chose Mia because it molded very well. It was the one that was melodic, it wasn't sticky, it was unexpected, and we also liked it because in Romanian, which is the dominant language in our country still, it can shapeshift as well. You can use it as a numeral, you can use it as like a noun. So that's why it worked. And then we went looking for the face. You're gonna see some of the potential faces that Mia could have gotten. And boy, was that fun, especially for the brand designer, one of the most talented brand designers we have around. She's a real discovery. So different connotations, different ideas, different perceptions on everything. Some more abstract, some more stuffy, some went because the mood board, right? We went really, really out there, and we again tested them. And we went looking, and we were looking at them, we were thinking, okay, the use cases, where would it be used? And how well would it integrate whatever it would? And these are some of the options. And we finally went to this, which you know that was the final brand, because this, rather than all of these, was the one that actually, when we presented it in the room, everyone just smiled. Everyone's face lighted up. And then again, iteration upon iteration upon iteration, finding the perfect balance to get to where we are today. So how it all fits into the system. Can it fit on a door handle? Can it fit on in the app? Can it fit on a banner? Where does it live? Are you bored yet? I'm almost done. So, and then all of this was supposed to be packaged. So we knew who our target audience is to start with. The data showed us that the perfect target audience were people who are already banked, who are urban, who are active card users, and that is a bracket somewhere between 27-ish to 40-year-olds, right? And then we broke those down into niches. We broke them down into young professionals, adults with kids, youngsters, and gig economy workers and influencers and so on. And then we went testing all of the messaging. And the messaging was also constructed across all levels, from building awareness to gauging interest, to explaining all of the benefits, to just straight out telling you how to use it, to get to where we are today. Now, where we are today is over 65 activations and even more active users, active activities. And this process, which is not the development process, which was in parallel, it was the brand building process, span out over 10 months. It included over 20 people from the National Bank, independent consultants such as myself, contractors, the team from MISRA and USAID, a lot of our friends and people and everyone we got involved into the process, and over 100 plus working actual documents to get to the final ones. So to get here to the final message, if you can call me, you can pay me.